We're on our way to Konso, which is a region in southern Ethiopia. We were here 2 years ago to witness the surgery on a lady called Mamite. She had trichiasis, which is the blinding form of trachoma. Now we're going back to see how she is and how she's getting on 2 years later. I can let you out to Meskin. You don't like that, do you?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Scaring the children.
You know, they see when they see white.
So she lives in this Kabele, just about 5 minutes away. Hello? How are you? Do you remember my friend?
He says that welcome.
Thank you. What is she saying?
Before the surgery, I can't see whatever this environment, but after the surgery, I can detect human beings here, my daughter, my son. I have light.
That's how we say thank you. In Ethiopia, there are more than 1.2 million people suffering from blindness. The highly contagious eye disease trachoma runs rampant in rural areas of the country. Yet there is only one ophthalmologist per million people. Without basic eye care, those with trachoma live in pain until they eventually go blind. In Ethiopia, Orbis is working together in partnership with communities, government and hospitals, all dedicated to eradicating preventable, treatable blindness.
What Orbis doing here is, changing the life quality of individuals which was affected before due to trachoma. Before 5 years ago, even it's difficult to see such clean environment. And in antibiotic aspect, in particular active trachoma is nowadays minimal. So the change is really visible.
Trachoma is common in children. Up to half of the children who become blind in Ethiopia will die within 2 years. Those infected with trachoma do not go instantly blind. The disease manifests gradually. Repeated infections lead to the eyelid scarring, causing the eyelashes to turn inward and scratch the eye. Without treatment, this leads slowly and painfully to complete blindness. Trachoma is essentially totally preventable and curable. In 2007, Orbis adopted the World Health Organization's SAFE strategy to target trachoma in certain regions of southern Ethiopia. Across an area of over 2 million people, Orbis conducts surgeries, distribute antibiotics, teach the importance of facial cleanliness, and improve the environment through providing access to clean water and sanitation. We travelled to a health clinic in Dita to meet a woman who was about to undergo eye surgery, conducted by an Orbis trained eye care worker.
She's going to be operated here in that health center.
Hello?
Hello?
Salam. Salam.
Sunsa one intes.
Albiso.
My name is Albise, she says.
Albise. And how long has she had the pain?
Aude gatso isked mokri chadisha sakize.
Achi tammane lapulay tu katarista.
Come on, laugh, let's go.
For 17 years?
Yeah.
Goodness. There are a great many people in Ethiopia who suffer the pain of trachoma needlessly due to a traditional and rural culture that has little knowledge of modern medicine.
Most of in the rural areas culture, when they have this kinds of disease, either it's trachoma or any other kinds of disease, they prefer to go to a witch doctor or a traditional healer. In their culture, they're used to going to a traditional healer than to a health center.
I remember there was one lady, she was around 15 years old, and she dropped out of school because of pain she has on her eye. And she was kept at home for 5 years. They kept her at home because this disease or this happened because of curse. And then Orbis trained health extension worker going door to door, found a child at home. She was in the house for the last 5 years, and she did not communicate anyone outside of her home. He convinced them, and the parent brought the child to the clinic. And then after having that eye surgery, she was able to go to school. And she was so happy that she could be able to manage to go to school.
Having the health extension workers going door by door to teach people about the trachoma and other diseases as well, and to convince them to come to the health center is doing a very great job, making people trust the health center and making people to trust the whole service in the health center as well.
Okay. We'll go to a traditional healer. So this guy is a traditional healer.
Tomorrow I will go to the health center, she says.
We're just witnessing Albise, who's walked for about an hour and a half to come down to the health centre to get a simple eye surgery. She's got trichiasis and her lower lids have turned inwards and are scratching on her cornea, and if it's not treated she'll eventually go blind. And she's getting the quick, it'll be 20 minutes and it'll be done. She's had this pain for 17 years. So it's pretty gruesome thought, but today, hopefully, all will be sorted. Albacete doesn't have long to recover from her surgery. Almost immediately, she must set off on the long journey home. Her role as a farmer, a mother, and a wife must continue as normal, regardless of her recent surgery. This would be the case for any woman in Ethiopia.
So the women are more prone to trachoma than their husbands. If the mother is infected with trachoma and didn't get better eye care service, she'll become blind. That means there will be no one to help in the household chores, because women are the base, the backbone of the household, any household in rural family. They cook, they clean, they take care of their children more than any husband does. If she's blind, the children will be left alone. There will be no one to take care of them or to wash them, to feed them as their mother did.
If somebody from the house is blind, then the house is blind. If the house is blind, the community is blind. The community is blind, then the country is blind. There are a lot of people who are needing our help.
A couple of years ago when we were here, we took a photograph of Mamite. Can we show it to her? That's you.
When I first met Mamite, she was almost completely blind. She was no longer able to work, and simple household chores were becoming more and more difficult. Her children were forced to leave school to work and help around the house. After a visit from an Orbis-trained community health agent, Mamite underwent surgery that not only restored her eyesight, but essentially saved her life. Visiting Mamite again 2 years later, it was quite obvious to see the life-changing effect that the surgery had for her, her family, and the community. She had returned to work and her children had returned to school. She was no longer a burden on the community. Mamite and her family now understand the importance of cleanliness and what is needed to keep trachoma at bay.
I'm
very pleased to have you and set my side back, and I will tell to my neighbors and relatives just to protect their side.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. She was delighted to see us. It's so humbling to see the reaction 2 years later and how pleased she is. She's completely free of pain. She can see again, and it just seems as if she's got her life back. It's such a huge impact, and Orbis is just doing an amazing job in these areas to eradicate trachoma and give people their sight back and therefore their lives.
Two days after meeting Albacete in the Orbis clinic, we decided to pay her a visit and see how she was coping after her surgery. Situated high in the mountains, we followed the only accessible route to get to her. It's hard to believe that a woman after her surgery walks this. It's not easy. I've been to the health centre so many times.
Yeah.
I've seen the surgeries,
Yeah.
but I've never afterwards seen the journey that people have to take afterwards.
Yeah.
So this is tough.
Sure.
But at the moment, I have a lot of respect.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for Albacete.
Sure. Now as well, you are walking on foot more than 2 hours.
Oh. We eventually made it. Walking through the village, we came across Albacete back to work as normal. Although she was still recovering from her surgery and her eye was sensitive, it was clear she was on the road to recovery. It's hard to believe that she had suffered with such unnecessary pain for so long. I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
God bless you. God bless you.
What does having the pain relieved by the surgery mean for her and her whole family?
Just I get relief totally from my illness, or my sight become okay. I will go to my farm and I will cut grass for my animal. I will prepare food for my family.
It's incredible to see the difference the surgery has made to Albacete's life in just 2 days. Not just for her, but for her entire family. Albacete and Mamite are just 2 of the millions of people that Orbis has helped. But there is still much work to do to ensure the next generation does not grow up with the threat of blindness. It's amazing to see the difference that such a simple operation can make to someone's life. And to see the difference over the years is fantastic. Year on year, we're going back and the children's faces are clear. The number of TT surgeries that are required has gone down. The community health agents are going out into the field to find, that's their job, is to find cases and refer them to the health centres. And that's becoming more and more difficult. And it seems very much that the children are the ones who are educating the parents, which is brilliant for sustainability. You know, that to me seems to be the answer. You know, you teach the children, they teach the parents, and generations to come will grow up without the threat of blindness, hopefully.
There are a lot of people who are at the verge of being blind because of this trachoma. So we have to continue helping them with the work that we have been doing the last 5 years.
one eye surgery can make a difference, and then you can be a witness for that change. And it's very fulfilling and rewarding experience anybody can ever have.
This is not only the effort of Orbis Ethiopia here, but also the people who are helping us here, just generating, the donation or funds there. And your being here also observing and supervising also motivates us, and we can make a difference when we unite the efforts together.
Trachoma has been wiped out in the Western world, but continues to bring blindness and poverty to countless millions in countries such as Ethiopia. Yet it is so easy to treat and prevent. As such, Orbis needs to continue teaching and training. We will not stop until everyone in this region has access to basic, quality eye care, so that eyes are mended and protected and lives restored.